Hey, welcome to Victoria Unleashed. Here, I hold nothing back. On this show, you'll hear my personal insights, channeled messages, and leading edge conscious conversations to set your spirit free from an old fear-based reality. So glad you're here. I hope you enjoy the show, and I'll see you on the other side. Today's episode is brought to you by NutriSwish, the world's most powerful antioxidant. Nano-sized for super absorption. You can learn more at numi.com/fearlessandfree. Hello, my loves. Today I want to talk about the difference between confidence and arrogance. For a lot of people, these two concepts can be very confusing. And I know, speaking from myself, when I was younger, when I had severe issues of unworthiness and no self-confidence and very little self-esteem, I had a difficult time being able to recognize the difference between them because confidence and arrogance on the surface look very similar. So let's talk about what the difference is between these two and why we are striving for self-confidence. Remember that self-confidence is one of the elements that come with self-love. And self-love is not the same as arrogance. And I will be doing another video on the difference between the two because they're two very completely different things. Self-love is loving the self, the beautiful self that is at the core of every single one of us, where arrogance isn't really love. It actually stems from a needing to be something more and prove that to someone else. So let's talk about self-confidence versus arrogance. The word confidence actually stems from con, which means with, and fide, which is another form of trust. So when we think about fidelity and confiding, that root word is really about trust. When we put our fidelity into another person, when we put our confidence in another person, we're really saying that we are putting trust in another person, trust in an organization, trust in other people's actions and choices. So self-confidence really comes back to self-trust. It's really about having fidelity with ourselves. It's about having trust with ourselves to be and do and say the very best thing. And it isn't about arrogance at all. Because when a person is in complete self-confidence, and when they confide in themselves, and there's also an element of languaging behind that. When you confide in yourself, you speak truth to yourself. You speak trust to yourself. Self-confidence is a beautiful thing because it comes from self-love. It comes from understanding that you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself to make the best choices. Now, I don't use right, wrong, reality, because right and wrong is different for every person. However, I like to use the word best. And when we start to live our lives based on what the best is for ourselves and for all concerned, we really start to live in a space of self-confidence and really trusting ourselves to make the best choices and to say the best things and to be in the best places and to surround ourselves with the best people. Again, this isn't about arrogance of I hang out with the best people. It's not that at all. It's about surrounding yourself with people who bring out the best in you. Because remember, this is about the relationship that you have with yourself. And when we surround ourselves with people who confide in us and that trust the direction that we're going and that know that their word is safe with us, then that's surrounding ourselves with people who lift us up and help us have a better and stronger, more loving relationship with ourselves. So when I talk about choosing to be with the best people, it isn't about being with the right people through Arrogance is about understanding being with the best people, surrounding yourself with people who love you and support you and lift you up and confide in you and build that self-confidence for you. So remember, this is, again, self-confidence is coming back to knowing that we make the best choices for ourselves and for others, because people who are genuinely self-confident have zero interest in tearing anybody else down. People who are genuinely self-confident lift up and support other people in their own striving for self-confidence, in their own striving for self-assurance, in their own striving for better self-esteem, in their own striving to become the best person that they can be. So if you're looking at others and trying to decide, is that person self-confident or is that person arrogant? A lot of it's in their languaging. And you can see, as they say, actions speak louder than words. You can actually see in their actions whether they're actually self-confident, that is, having a loving relationship with themselves, or if they're just arrogant. And people who are arrogant really don't care about other people. People who are self-confident, and I'm going to get into this care word a little bit, because my daughter asked me once when she was younger, Mommy, what's the difference between not caring about what other people think and not caring about people? These are actually two different things. They sound almost identical on the surface, but they're actually two very different things. Not caring about what other people think about you is different than not caring about how other people feel. So we can go through life being completely self-confident. We confide in ourselves. We trust ourselves. And when we live our lives in this self-confidence, what other people think about us really doesn't matter, because we are good with who we are. We love who we've become. We love the work that we've done to become the person that we've become. And other people can shoot their negative projections at us all day long, and it doesn't hurt anymore, because we are so good with the work that we've done to become who we are. We are self-confident. When you get to that space, other people's negative projections actually don't hurt anymore, because you understand that it's actually their own judgments being projected onto you. It's really about them, and it's not about you at all. And so when someone projects something negative at you, understand it's actually about them and something inside of them that's hurting, that's feeling less than. And so they'll push it onto you because it's easier to deflect their own suffering than to deal with it themselves. So you can actually look at them through the eyes of compassion and understand that they actually have unresolved issues they haven't worked through. In your own self-confidence, you know not to take their projections toward you personally, because it's their stuff. And you can just love them back until they resolve their issues themselves. Now, that's different, of course, than not caring about other people. So someone can send you their negative projections and not care about how they feel about you, and in the same token, still care about them. You can still care about their feelings and care about what it is that's going on within them that's causing them to project their suffering onto you. The difference is not caring, because we're good with who we are. We don't care what other people think about us, because we know that we're good. We are good with who we've become. And in that same token, from our heart center, from that self-confidence that we have within ourselves, we can then send caring back to them, so they can project their negative stuff onto us, and we can project positive back to them, because we actually care. We have compassion within our own hearts, so we care about how they feel. This is what the great master teacher meant when he said to love your enemies. It isn't about loving them the way we love our friends and family. It's about sending them love, that their hearts are healed, and whatever their issues are that still need to be resolved, that they find the resolution within themselves. This is how we care about other people. We care about them. We also care about ourselves. So part of this is caring about ourselves to the degree that we don't sacrifice ourselves for the needs of others, because that love of self always comes first, not from arrogance again, but from understanding we can't give what we don't have. So if we have this love within ourselves first, then we can care for others. We can love others from that love that exists within our own hearts. And arrogance, of course, are those people that actually have issues, unresolved issues, and they feel the need to make themselves bigger and better and bigger and more boastful than anyone else because there's a part of them that hasn't resolved issues from their own childhood and they really don't have any genuine self-love. Genuine self-love is not boastful. It's loving, it's caring, it's compassionate, it's giving. Arrogance is boastful. Arrogance is bigger than, better than, greater than. And it has the person who is arrogant puffs themselves up at the expense of others. A person who is in genuine self-confidence lifts themselves up and everybody else with them. So I hope you find that helpful as you're looking at the people in your life and the people that you see on television and on the media and trying to decipher. And again, staying out of judgment, because once we go into judgment, it's actually our own issues being projected onto them as well. So staying out of judgment and trying to stay as a conscious, neutral observer, take a look at the people in your life, take a look at the people you see on the media and in the movies and really see. You can start to see who is really self-confident and who is arrogant. And begin to see how those two things are playing out in your own life. Are you being arrogant to the people around you because you've achieved more than they have? Or are you in a position of self-confidence, knowing that you trust yourself, you confide in yourself, and because you have this ability to confide in yourself, you now have the ability to reach out and help others from that space of peace and love within your own hearts. I hope that helps you to clarify these two opposites that are often misconstrued as the same. And so this way you can choose, you get to choose which direction you take your life. And you get to choose to develop self-confidence, that confidence within yourself, that trust within yourself, or to become arrogant and rude and mean and hurtful and think you're better than everyone else. Which of course can never bring happiness because it does not stem from real genuine love for yourself and for anyone else. Take this information with you today to heart. I hope it helps you make better decisions for yourself in the future. I hope that it helps you with your relationships moving forward. And until next time, be fearless, fabulous, and free.